Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kinguin Pro League 2015 with me, Gaara. We're just done casting a Gaara. Yes, Lothar. Sorry, we're gonna be casting Xixo versus Gaara, but we're actually just done casting a reverse sweep from Savage over Show. Show went 2-0 and Savage went, well, 3-2 in the end, which gave him the series, and that was a really well done, a really good execution here for Savage.
True, very well done by Savage. He targeted Show really well with his lineup, so he went from 0-2 to reverse sweep 3-2, which is really great for Savage here. He really wanted that win. He was on the back foot with a 2-3 result so far, and now he picked up the battle with the rest of the group.
Yeah, and the worst part is I think Savage had one of the worst starts in the entire KPL, where I think he went 0-3, or 0-2, 1-2, 1-3, and then like either way, it was a really rough start. And now he's back at 50% win rate, which means going forward, if he gets a really good score, he could still land in the top 5 at the very least. Xixo versus Gaara is going to be coming up. We have the deck list for the players, or at least the classes that they will be playing. Xixo has Druid, Mage, Warrior, and Gaara has obviously Shaman, Paladin, and Warlock.
That's interesting. Shaman, Paladin, and Warlock. Unorthodox lineup. Let's think about the classes for a second. If Gaara wanted to target something at Xixo, right? He knows that Xixo likes to run aggressive decks, but Xixo has a mage. Well, he's still very good at every single deck that he can play, but in this matchup, in this lineup, there's a Druid, Mage, Warrior. So Warrior is almost for sure a control deck. Then we have a Druid, which will be most likely the mid-range, and the Mage can be...
I venture to say mech in general. The thing is, I feel like Xixo's moving away from his past drafting strategy. What I'm looking at here, though, is that Gaara seems to be very well equipped to deal with Warrior. I don't know if he pinned Xixo on Warrior, but Shaman typically beats Warrior, at least, you know, very often. A good Paladin control deck also typically beats Warrior, and a Warlock usually can do it as well. So it's going to be a very tricky thing. I think Xixo might be down to his Warrior at the very end, and Gaara could be able to target that one class if that's a thing.
Well, and the Warrior loses really heavily to Shaman and Paladin most of the time. Yeah.
Yep.
The Warlock, if that's a Zoo, that's a really pretty lineup for beating the Warrior.
Yeah, if you brought Zoo for this, even Demon Warlock doesn't have that bad of a matchup versus Warrior. It tends to be able to heal up enough that it's out of range of OTK. It has enough answers to big stuff. It's able to, you know, immune itself at some point during the game. If it's playing the combo, it also has the burst now with Emperor.
Yeah, that's true, but Zoo will be something that no one anticipates.
Yeah.
But Zoo has a weakness against rogues, which were pretty popular, but on the other hand, Gaara doesn't tend to play rogue at all.
Yeah, I mean, pretty popular is an understatement. I think it was the most one of the classes that was rated the most powerful by a lot of players just, you know, a week and a half ago. Before BRM, obviously. Now that Blackrock Mountain came out, a lot of decks have cropped up. We see even more combos than we used to, which is something I do like. And I'm almost hoping that Xixo plays Grim Patron Warrior. Like, that is what I want to see today. I want to see at least one deck with a Grim Patron, so we'll have to see. If Gaara did innovate something interesting with his decks, it's possible. I mean, he is an innovator. That's what Gaara does best.
Yeah, I hope he didn't use a tech like the Metal Tooth Leaper in one of his decks.
You're laughing, but like, I saw Death Star V3 play Metal Tooth Leaper Hunter on ladder at rank 2. I think it was like 2 days ago.
Okay, but he did play it, but was it a success?
Well, at rank 2 early season, I'd say yes, that's working. Something's working. I don't know what it is, whether it's Death Star, because Death Star is an amazing Hunter player. You have to give him that. You know, him and Firebat, I think, collaborated a while back on many of the spreadsheets that were made back when Mid-Range Hunter was all over the place. So it seems like Metal Tooth Leaper has a spot. Like the mech Hunter was a thing for at least all of a day during post Blackrock Mountain. So that was interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have to see.
When the viewers will see how Gaara looks, that will be huge.
Craigasm. Now, Xixo's going to play Druid versus Gaara's Shaman. I'd venture to say, now that Emperor's around, this matchup is much less in favor, a little less, wait, I'm not going to say much, a little less in favor of the Shaman, unless he's running the Malygos OTK, which as well. We're super well with Emperor. So Emperor Balanced is enabling all sorts of really funky strategies now.
That's cool. That's cool. Really cool story, bro. I don't think Gaara will bring that to
Oh,
a
come on.
league, the Kinguin Pro League. I think you go for a stable shaman, the usual control list, like mid-range control, right? Because
Yeah.
it most of the time it beats Druid and beats
Yeah.
other aggro decks because
And,
you know,
and he's very
mid-range
comfortable with
decks.
it. He's played
Yeah.
it so much that at this point he just understands the ins, and outs of it to the point where he can autopilot it very effectively.
True.
So we'll have to see what the shaman is, but I mean, Gaara's known for innovating. That's one of the things we've said that every time we cast him. It turns out that he does a lot of that.
He also played the Burst Shaman 2 weeks ago, if I remember correctly.
Right,
you-
with the
Double crackles, double
crackle,
lightning
yeah.
bolts. There was no lava burst in that deck, but it was really bursty and it was targeting rogues at the time.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense because it's very difficult for a lot of players to deal with the amount of burst the shaman has. And honestly, when Lava Shock comes out, everybody in the chat, if you're not making a burst shaman for the first week, I don't want to talk to you anymore. There you go. That's it. I want to see burst shaman all over the ladder to see everybody complaining about the OP-ness of Emperor Thorstein in burst shaman with Lava Shock. That must be some of the most disgusting things you could do. But we'll have to see how the metagame evolves. BRM is going to be a really, I mean, we're getting Blackwing Technician just this week. Then we're getting Hungry Dragon.
You think Blackwing Technician will be a huge impact? Like,
Immediately with Twilight Drake and Azure Drake, it's possible. Until we see Hungry Dragon, though, I wouldn't necessarily bet my life on it. It might wait for Hungry Dragon. So yeah, I'd love to see it. Honestly, I would be very, very happy.
when do we
Blackwing.
have the Paladin Dragon?
That's a good question. I don't know when it gets unlocked. I think it might be on week 3, although I'm not entirely
Because
sure.
That's the dragon to go.
Yeah, that's what
When
people
to
are
go
waiting
for,
to make
yeah.
Dragon decks, a thing. Whether they play, I think it's coming on.
With
I think
the
it's week
same
3.
week. So the same week probably with Flamewalker. That will be an insane week.
Yeah,
We
no,
so much innovations.
yeah, definitely. Flamewaker is wing 4 from Blackwing Lair. I remember that. Blackrock Spire has Dragon Consort, and that's week 3. So we have Emperor right now. We're gonna get Imp Gang Boss next week. That's gonna be crazy for Warlocks. It's gonna be an insane week. And Dragon Consort is coming on week 3. I think that's gonna be the most awaited 4 card of this entire set.
We'll have to see, but now we have the game on. And Gaara is playing most likely the standard control Shaman, I think. Because why would you play Dr. Boom in a Bursty Shaman, right?
Well, you play Doctor
no.
Boom everywhere. It's I have to be honest with you. It's kind of
That's also true.
I read somebody on Reddit say that Doctor Boom is a tech card against people who want to win. So Doctor Boom is a tech card, from what I gathered. It seems that seems right.
Oh, there's a
seems-
crackle.
There's a bloodlust, is what we have to say.
No way.
Yes, there's a bloodlust.
Murloc Shaman.
Murloc Shaman coming up.
That's
Uh-oh.
So you want to draw Innervate. So you
It
can
is
play
Murloc
in
Shaman.
3.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Ah,
There is an
nice.
Epsilon.
I really love how the Neptulon animation looks when he drops all those fishes around him.
Around himself, yeah.
Yeah.
He's splashing in the deep.
Oh, Harrison Jones, that would be cool for the Doomhammer.
Yeah. What I'm curious about, though, is how good Emperor works with Bloodlust. Can you picture that? Getting a 3-mana Bloodlust if it lives 2 turns? That would be insane.
When you say when Emperor lives for 2 turns, everything is insane.
Yeah, okay. Let's assume it lives 1 turn. It's still crazy. A 4-mana Bloodlust. That is still pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you get Lightning Bolts for 1 mana. Everything
Savage
just
Roar,
changes
wow.
all of a sudden. Oh, man, that Emperor next turn is going to be so strong.
Emperor making low tap for 4 mana. You have already one part of the combo for 2 points. So if you... Well, it's better to have Force of Nature when you drop... when you have the Emperor. Because then you have the Force for 5 points of mana. So you can squeeze in Savage Roar with Hero Power already.
Already, yeah.
Right. And if you have the whole combo, you can squeeze double Savage Roar with 1 Force of Nature, which is basically winning the game.
Yeah. Well, Emperor on the coin, I feel like sometimes innervating out Emperor too early is bad. Like, I've seen Druids do that on turn 1, and they just feel so strong, but at the same time, if it gets answered, you get really punished, because you have no hand, and it basically did nothing. But when you get it, on turn 4 with Innervate, or turn 5 with the coin, it's a really, really strong play.
So now you have to play Hex, right? Do you want to play Hex?
I think you Hex and Creeper, yeah.
No, you don't want to use Overload, because now you want to drop Neptune on turn 7. So Hex should be the play here.
Yeah. With Creeper or Totem, I guess he could Crackle, but I think that's a bit of an overextension. What he might do next turn is instead Urdrake Creeper and then Neptulon. That way he's not overloaded for turn 8 either.
Interesting that he went for the hero power instead of Undead Creeper.
Yeah, I think that's for his turn 7 with Drake Creeper. Although I'm not sure what that really does.
No, you want to drop Neptulon on turn 7, right?
Well, it's weak to BGH and then you're overloaded.
Yeah, but if you wait with it, there's even more chances that your opponent will draw the big game hunter.
I like Drake Creeper a lot. Oh well, that's probably gonna not be the same thing. It might be a Drake Earth Shock for 2 and then Charade with a weapon. That's probably a much better play here.
Now that has to be done. But he lacks the mech. That's so painful.
Yeah, wasting that +2/+2 on the...
The question is how many mechs is he playing? Like, he has the Harvest Golems, probably he has also Piloted Shredders, right?
That's it. I think that's it. That's what most shamans run. They run about 4 mechs, and that's enough value for Power Mace.
Oh, look.
Yeah, he's got the beast in his sights. Oh, Belcher.
That's quite a nice turn. Turn 7 with Innervate dropping 2 5-mana creatures. Sounds okay.
Yeah, you've seen a Hex, and you have spell protection at this point, so... I mean, Lightning Storm could still be cast for 8, but...
So, Defender of Argus doesn't
I like it.
feel...
I actually like it quite a bit. You play the Creeper on the left and then you Defender. That's
and you Defender
okay
the Creeper, yeah. That seems way better than defending the hero, the totem.
I agree. Oh, and he finds the healing totem. That's gonna be pretty nice.
Now it's great. Yeah, now it's really insane.
And now it's really strong. And it may be the case that this Emperor will not have done as much as Xixo hoped. Oh.
Oh.
Ouch.
Well, wait. Does it matter?
Yeah, it does. It's a big deal.
He kills the Creeper, then swipes the Drake, and kills the
Stoneclaw and the healing. Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
The healing, yeah.
It's an insane swipe.
Yeah.
It's an insane swipe. Well, I mean, Gaara still got follow-ups. You know, he's not overloaded at all. He hasn't played Neptulon yet. He hasn't played his Belcher, so he still has good follow-ups. But there's the combo in Xixo's hand waiting to be used for 8 mana.
And that's game next turn. If he doesn't kill the whole board. Or put himself above 22 points of life. Or doesn't get a taunt. Or whatever. There's so many options. But the Neptune is a dead card. The Neptune is such a dead card for now.
Yeah, sometimes it swings games when you're able to stabilize. Like, if you're able to force the Druid to use combo to trade, which is sometimes possible, then you're going to be in a good spot. And I feel like the hand of Gaara is looking strong. Xixo wants to find Ancient of Lore.
What about just keep pairing the Sludge Belcher and going
go
for face?
Yeah, I think this
is
already
used one Defender of Argus, so...
No, I agree. This is definitely the play. You could even just Harrison Jones here for the lulz.
Yeah, most likely will.
Yeah, and Gaara has a telegraph sent to him. You better have Lightning Storm here. Oh, he finds it. Wow, okay.
Finds it. That
he
was
finds the
very
storm.
theatrical.
And like Totem, anti-kill bot, Lightning Storm. This is as good as it's gonna get.
That's the worst Totem he could have gotten.
Yeah, but still, he gets the heal for 8, which puts him out of range of the combo. That is a great top deck. Now Xixo is gonna be desperate for Ancient.
Oh, 2 lows. Doesn't matter.
It kind of does, but ultimately you can still kill 2 minions here, and I think you just do it.
Do clear the board with.
You could play Bloodlust actually to trade with your Mana Tide instead of healing up.
Not trade. Well, it depends. If you want to trade, you can also use Crackle.
Yeah, but then you can't heal with Healbot.
Yeah, but
it's all the same.
Okay.
It's all the same. Yeah, it's
and
all
you play the zombie chow then.
Yeah. You know what? I like that. I feel like Healbot is almost mandatory because you've seen Emperor, but at the same time, you can't play around the double combo. It's like it's so impossible since the BGH was drawn after. So yeah, I think you're right here. That still leaves Gaara with a good board, so Xixo needs to find.
Anoitron? Oh wow.
What a sick card against combo druid.
So that's another mech with your Paul Mace.
Yep, I think that plays very well into that archetype.
Dr. Boom. Oh, he goes for the Big Game Hunter, which is important because you have, you know, lethal in hand if you have one creature. So that's very important to drop. And you know there will be no creature.
Oh my god, Gaara keeps getting good cards. This is just so strong.
So you drop the Flame Tongue Totem to use it on the Healing Totem, right?
Yeah,
like
you're gonna
you trade the Zombie Chow first, then you drop the Healing Totem on the Big Game Hunter.
Yep.
And you drop the Anoitron, and that's basically it.
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh, and he finds the
never mind.
Stonefall. I play Neutron because why not, right?
And then
in the
you
middle.
play on, yeah, and exactly in the middle. Both your taunts are being buffed now. It's insane. That's really insane. And you draw a card every single turn. That's, I don't know if it can be even better. If it
I
can
don't
get
think so.
even better. Like you have
I
Hex
really don't
already.
think so.
How many points of damage is that with the Bloodlust?
That might be lethal. 3,
3,
6, 7,
6,
8. 8 plus 15. That, yeah, he's close. He's close. Very close, but you can't do it yet. You cannot. You have to wait a little longer.
So you Hex, kill the frog with your totem, and
You have to heal
drop
bot, though.
Heal bot, yes.
I think you have to heal bot. It's too risky not to. Like, you could get greedy and play Dr. Boom to try to get minions for Bloodlust, but I feel like that is way too greedy if you're like, he's seen 2 cards stay in Xixo's hand forever. Xixo has been playing very aggressively, essentially sending a message to Gaara, hey, I've got combo, one of them is reduced by my Emperor, I want to burst you down. So Gaara needs to answer knowing that information.
True. He goes for the totem first. I don't like that, to be honest. Because you can get the taunt totem again if you hero power after you attack with your totem.
Right. And this is a perfect hit here. Oh man, he finds this is it. I think unless he finds another swipe, this should be game.
That should be game, yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely
3, 6, 9, 12 plus 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 points of damage. So that's exactly 30.
yeah. I mean, he could OTK his opponent. Oh, an Innervate. Too bad it can't be used on swipe.
GG Bloodlust.
Rah, 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 rah.
And Rogue Biter also.
Oh, man.
Denied. PJ Salt.
Yeah, it's fine. If you've made your opponent rage quit, you're good to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the German wins the game.
Rage quit. Just German players are, you know, efficient. So
right.
They're both German, so they want to, you know, save their time. So
yeah.
Seeding when you see the lethal is
It's
okay.
much faster, yeah, obviously. So Gaara's going to be taking this first win here. Apparently the matchup with Shaman is still pretty good, despite the Emperor balance. And this leads me to, you remember when we talked about Emperor on stream, we were talking, or at least I was talking with Monk perhaps about that. You know, it is a very strong card, but I think it's more akin to Lotheb than it is to Dr. Boom in many ways. It's a very strong card that has potentially game-winning effects, but it's not necessarily a near auto-include if you're trying to go for specific strategies. So I really do like Emperor as a design. I feel like, you know, obviously it feels very, very strong to the point where you almost want to auto-include it in every mid-range and every control deck, but it feels more like Lotheb than Dr. Boom, and I think I like it for that.
True. It's Lotheb can be used almost in every single deck.
Yeah.
But you're very on point with your statement about Emperor.
All right, Xixo's gonna stick to his Druid. No surprise there, I don't think. The ladder at like varying ranks has been Druid versus Druid versus Druid versus Druid. So it's one of the stronger classes in the metagame right now, I'd venture to say.
Well, sticking to Druid here, Does it make any sense against the Paladin and Warlock?
I'm gonna have to say, you know what? I like Gaara's Paladin, like the idea of going for that. What I want to see though is whether or not it's mid range, or if it is at the opposite end, a control deck with double Healbot, double Lay on Hands. This playstyle has been coming back as a result of everybody running Face Hunter on ladder, control warriors everywhere to counter Face Hunters, and that Paladin has a good matchup. It also tends to be able to deal with Druid fairly effectively. So if Gaara is bringing a very control-heavy Pally, that is possibly, you know, a win for him. But Xixo is being a bit risky. Thing is, Druid is a safe value.
I'm just thinking maybe it just tell us that the mage is not freeze. No, you would if you run freeze mage, you would now use it against Paladin Warlock, right? Because that's a great matchup.
You would probably definitely because you auto win versus Pally most of the time, and Gaara is going to be picking up his Warlock against Xixo's Druid. At WCA,
now the Druid makes sense.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it beats the typical hand lock. It's fine versus demon lock because it can burst them down even faster, and you can play the slow game. You can play a very slow game, get your Emperor for ultimate value, and insta win. And you know, this is one thing that I also like about Emperor. Going back to that card, I keep doing that. It enhances the. I mean, it gives another layer of depth where you think to yourself, do I want to play on curve, or do I want to wait until I can get a really strong Emperor later on?
Well, when you analyze Emperor, sometimes you will keep it in your opening hand, even if it's as a 6-drop, if you just play a slow matchup, because it guarantees you so much value. It will just pay off to keep it in your opening in your opening hand. An example: when I was playing against Trump, I used a nourish for drawing cards on turn 5 to get more value from Emperor on next turn.
Yeah, it incentivizes you to play slower just because you have it in your deck. Alright, so we're going to be looking at Warlock. We see Mal'Ganis, so probably Demon Handlock, and Xixo picks up the BGH if there are giants in that deck, which there might be.
Well, Mal'Ganis is a kind of a giant.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, if it comes out of Void Caller, you've got the perfect answer.
Yep. So, what do you keep against a druid when you are playing Demon Lock? You don't keep anything of you don't keep anything of that, right?
I think you just throw everything back, yeah. I'd venture to say you're looking for other stuff than this.
But what do you look for? Dark Bomb is useless.
Dark Bomb is not a great card. I think Hellfire is good against Shades on curve. Dark Bomb is not even bad against Shredders. Iron BKL is also not too bad, but you don't want to get it as a prime card. I think you're just looking for your general early curve. Void Caller is pretty solid.
Yeah, Void Caller is probably,
yeah. Oh, double Molten in a starting hand. This is...
That's not good at all.
Oof.
And Dr. Boom. Ooh.
That's a rough curve for Gaara. At least he's going to be playing those giants very soon.
I think you dropped the coin and lived up turn 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird play, but you need to improve the quality of this hand very fast.
Oh look, he would have, if he would just drop the Ancient Water, he would have got the Owl for that. So Innervate Yeti turn 1.
That would have been good for him, but I think at this point he just wants to fetch even more value, now that he's playing a bit off curve. I wonder if he plays Mountain Giants alongside all the demons, because usually that's what gets cut out of those decks. Might be fetching Twilight Drakes. He's threatening the Shadow Flame.
So he plays Mal'Ganis in a typical handlock? It looks like so, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Demon Handlock has there are a lot of variants to that deck. It's not just a mold that everybody builds, and that threat of Shadow Flame is actually making Xixo unstealth his Shade, which if Gaara had a Dark Bomb, he could abuse, but unfortunately there is none.
So you drop the second Ancient Watcher? No, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you could play Ancient Watcher and Iron Beak the first one if you wanted, or you Shadow Flame the Shade off. It's up to you. This plays around Loatheb a little bit.
Kind of. And then you drop the Belcher and it trades with the Druid of the Club. The problem is there's a Sylvanas, which is 5/5, and trades directly with the Belcher. So it doesn't make any sense now to play that. You have to, because you have no other options, but it's still bad. And you don't have a Hellfire.
Yeah, there's no Hellfire right now. I mean, the quality of the hand from Gaara was
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
mediocre, if I have to be honest with you, and it's not getting better at this point.
Now it looks very bleak.
So you top deck,
Gaara.
Big Game Hunter, that's about it. Oh, wow.
That's
That is
game,
horrible.
right?
I think so, yeah. He can't remove enough bodies from the board.
So double wrap to kill whatever, and
Yeah.
then Savage Roar.
You could coil into BGH and save yourself a little bit. Oh, Belcher.
Oh, Belcher might help.
Yeah, Sylvanas triggers first, so you keep the slime.
Well, you still
Well, you
use...
might die,
No, no, no,
yeah.
no, no. You use the Savage Roar.
Yeah, and then you trade your
ref,
bombs away.
Ref first,
Mm-hmm.
then Savage Roar. You kill one of the bombs. You got additional points of damage will be going to face because Belcher will be played after the bombs. So the death
Yep.
rattle will trigger after the bomb will explode. So you guarantee yourself additional points of damage from that bomb. Then you use the second bomb. So you will get at least 2 points of damage to the face. So that's 17.
And that should be with the other
and
bomb. You
then-
could rat the bomb if you want.
Yeah, then you can rev the bomb. No, you can rev the little slime, never mind.
Yeah, the slime, the 1-2 slime.
So is that lethal? That's 9 from the Belter Boom and 7 from Sylvanas. So that's 16. So that's guaranteed lethal.
Yep, guaranteed lethal here. Oh, he's just gonna... Oh, you know what? That's even clever. It's even smarter to do this. You take the Belcher, then you roar.
But is it lethal then? 9, 12, 15?
Wait,
No, it's not
actually,
lethal.
it's not lethal.
Yeah,
it's
so
not.
you have to do with our play. Rev for free first, Savage Roar, trade the bomb.
Yeah. I think Xixo's just going through all the calculations.
I think so too.
Makes a lot of sense because it seems like a complex turn. Now that you know that he's got, guaranteed lethal, it's really not that complex on paper. Well,
oh,
that's what
he
comes
goes
out.
for that.
oh, that's a...
That's unfortunate because now does he?
Well,
have
he wins.
lethal?
He still wins. Yeah, he does
Well,
win.
yeah,
It's a
hey,
guaranteed
that's
lethal.
good. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Guaranteed.
Well, if he didn't deal 4 points of damage to the face, to the Belcher, just 1, then you have to rev, then you still have lethal.
Yeah. It's a
Never mind.
guaranteed lethal
Yeah,
in
it was
every
right.
single way with that play.
Yeah,
So Xixo takes this with Druid. Very convincing win here. Gaara had a horrible starting hand. Never even got to play much,
Horrible.
honestly.
I don't know if that's even a word that fits this situation. Double Molten Giant, Shadow Flame, and Dr. Boom. That's atrocious.
Yeah, it's the slowest hand that does nothing that you could possibly get. I mean, you do have, there's a weakness with Twilight Drakes. Your Mountain Giants are a little weak, right? Because you can get BGH. If you get them to stick, though, you're able to apply a counter pressure to the Druid, but there was nothing there. No Void Callers, no mid-range Demons, no even Mistress of Pain. If he even runs those, I'm not even sure he does. I think he's
I don't
just
think
running
so.
the
No, he
standard
had
hand
one.
line.
I think he had one in the opening hand. Or
No,
am I
Mistress
wrong?
of Pain he didn't. There was a Mal'Ganis, and that was
Became Hunter, Mal'Ganis, and
Defend of Argus,
Defend of Argus, and the fourth card was...
Shadow Flame, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really weak hand, essentially, and Gaara didn't get better with the mulligan, so they're gonna equalize the series. Now the Druid is out for Xixo, so Xixo is gonna be forced to play his Mage or Warrior against Paladin or Warlock from Gaara, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Gaara go for the Paladin here.
And what about Xixo? Major Warrior?
Either. I mean, I'd
think
pick
Mage.
Mage. I think I'd go for
Mage
Mage
has
here.
better chances against both of those classes.
Yeah, if only for the tiebreaker, you at least go for that. Try to get. You want to lock the class out as soon as possible, because Warrior is not going to do very well.
True. That's why I hate Warrior in Conquest. So easy to play around it. It can still win, of course, but I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of players bring it too. And we've always been a little surprised that we've seen that much in general. But I think it's a decent class, and I think it's going to eventually get tweaked to the point where it answers BRM. Once the metagame stabilizes and everything is set in stone, so to speak, we'll see a bit more adapted control warriors. We've seen so much tweaks on warriors recently. I didn't think it's a class that's very set in stone. A lot of the time, it's set in its ways. It's got this archetype with 25 auto includes and very little bit of wiggle room. Zali innovated a bit, adding back the Frothings. We used to see the Azure Drakes being played in Warrior. Now we see Grim Patron with some Frothings, so the metagame, it's shifting a bit towards where it can combo and win. So I'm liking where Warrior's going.
True, like Warrior has such different archetypes also, and Life Coach was playing the mech warrior like with success lately.
Right. Yes. Oh my God. He surprised us last time. We were with Monk. I think we saw Mech Warrior. That was really crazy.
That sounds so cool, right? Mech Warrior.
It is.
That was my game of my childhood. You know. Did you play
Mech Warrior? Yeah, Mech Warrior.
Mech Warrior.
I did.
Yeah, it was insane.
You just shoot
game.
other machines.
Yeah. I even had a board game with with figures. With
figurines.
Yeah.
So Xixo's going to be playing Mage as we expected, and Gaara is in fact going to go Paladin. So everything does line up for once. So Paladin versus Mage, I would say this is a very, very defensive Pally. It's got a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, but if that's Mech Mage, then aggressive Paladin, mid-range Paladin is also good.
Yeah, everything is good for Pally at this point.
Unless it's a Freeze Mage. And then your aggressive, kind of mid-range Paladin loses some percentages of the win ratio, and the control Paladin might be great then if you have so much heal.
Yep. But I mean, you're still weak to Archmage.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the biggest. I think Freeze Mage here would be a great deck for Xixo to have. If he has that Freeze Mage, he's going to be doing amazingly well, I feel, against Paladin in general.
True. Well, we'll have to see in a second because we'll be jumping to the game shortly.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Mech Mage does pretty... I mean, I think Mech Mage versus mid-range Pally, depending on how much healing the Paladin is playing, and he finds as well. You know, if he's playing one heal bot, one lay on hands, that could be a big
Kings
deal.
is insane.
Right.
Because it trades with at least one minion, even with low tip, right? And heals for 6 points, so that's really great value for the Paladin, and it's on turn 7, which is really important because sometimes you won't survive to turn 8 lay on hands, which doesn't do anything on the board, right?
Yeah. Well, we see a zombie chow. That's a good start.
And that's a great start against Mech Mage.
Yeah, it's the perfect start, and well, Xixo's got a Black Knight. I'm liking that. Black Knight, and so Gaara might be thinking this could be Freeze Mage because he's playing very slowly.
True, but now he will know.
Chugga.
And you drop the Peacekeeper? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I really like that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, that was a miss, but you trade with the Knife Juggler, which puts Xixo in a position when he has to trade his hero power to kill the Knife Juggler, and then he's off cure.
You could play the Harvest Golem, almost guarantee a mech and then Blast Mage, but ultimately pinging is the safer way to go.
It doesn't make much because then Gaara will trade the Peacekeeper and Zombie Chow into Harvest Golem, and you lose your only mech.
Only mech, yeah. What would be funny though is if, you know, when the True Silver Champion is eventually played, there's gonna be a really good play for Xixo with Blingtron to override the True Silver.
True, but this also gives another weapon to the Paladin, which can be True Silver Champion. And now Gaara, what Gaara wants to do is to not kill the Zombie Chow yet. He wants to finish the game without killing his Zombie Chow because he's very close to get lethal, like in the upcoming 2 turns.
Yeah, and honestly, Xixo's gonna have to coin out the Black Knight here if in the next few turns, because this is a really weak spot here for.
It's 3, 5, 7, 8 points of damage just from the board. Yeah. So you drop the True Silver Champion or you drop Sylvanas.
I'd play Sylvanas here, I think. Just put down stuff on the board. You've seen it's a mech. It's just got the worst possible start ever, and you can just apply the pressure.
Mm-hmm. So you got 5, 8, 10, 12. You got lethal.
He's got lethal. Yeah. Wow.
That's it. Now it has to be Snow Chugger with Goblin Blast Mage, but that's a game.
And it needs to ping the Zombie Chow, like 3 times straight up. Well, that's not gonna be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lethal here for Gaara.
Whoa, that was quick. Yeah, that was quick. Like 2 minutes. Face Hunter. Face Hunter quick.
Oh.
BM?
BM is real.
Or Equality.
What? No, he's BMing. Yeah, he's got lethal, exact lethal.
Okay,
Oh wow, full BM from Gaara trying to kill. What? List Lethal, boys. He just list Lethal.
What the hell?
Ultimate BM. This is the ultimate BM from. There is no way he's actually doing this.
I think he actually does it. He knows how Xixo reacts to those situations. Yeah. So
Wow.
Xixo will be like, oh no.
Smell wet. Smell wet. What could he find here? A Gorehowl. Did he just give him another True Silver?
I think
gave him
so.
Death's Bite. He just said Death's Bite.
That was Death's Bite? You sure?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lightning bolt at the bottom, which means it's got a trigger.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. You're so clever.
Jeoparino. I learned that there because I messed up.
New record of what? You just got information.
New record of what? Of the speed of the game?
I think so.
I don't know.
It could have been ended by 30 seconds faster.
Yeah. Smell wet.
Ah, I don't know, man. If Xixo might be tilting after that.
Well, that's a
I just lost a player that missed lethal, and Gaara's like, ha ha ha.
I lost to a player who lists lethal, man. I can't actually do this anymore. Well, that means Gaara's down to his last deck, Warlock, against Xixo's Mage and Warrior. So his Warlock against Mage, that could be a win for the Mech Mage if the start is good and if Gaara doesn't whiff in a starting hand. And against Warrior, I think that could be that could go either way depending on how the matchups line up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean double execute, BGH possibly, definitely by BGH.
Brawl. What else?
I just want to see Grim Patron. That's all I'm asking.
You think so? Xixo will be playing that?
I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be there. I don't even know if Xixo is going to go for something as possibly gimmicky as a Grim Patron play, but I think it's kind of nice. You know, it's entertaining at the very least.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of decks that work well.
I would really love to see it in a competitive environment. Well, I don't know what to say exactly about the Grim Patron deck. It feels like a gimmick, but maybe...
But it's not. It's really... It works so much better than I initially thought it would. Like, when I initially saw it, I was thinking to myself, this is a card that never gonna see play, and we have reports of people hitting Legend with Grim Patron Warrior.
Tice hit Legend with Grim Patron Warrior.
There you go. See, I mean, is it a Conquest deck? Maybe not. But it's definitely a tweak on the typical Control Warrior, so...
It feels kind of similar to the old Giants Warrior.
Yeah.
Right? Because
in a way.
It's almost the same. What do you say about Emperor Charge Alexstrasza?
Well, if you remember, do you remember back... actually, wait. Do you just remember Neria's, OTK Worgen?
Yeah, with Worgen? Yeah.
Yeah, he played so much of it. And there have been versions of Control Warrior. There's been versions of Warrior straight up that incorporate Grim Patron into that archetype. So they just add another kind of gimmick to the deck. They have a bit less draw, but they find a bit more consistency in the fact that they can get more board presence. The thing is, it's like you've got to go very hybrid between Control and that specific deck to make it work optimally, I think. Okay.
Well, I believe you. Gaara has Big Hunter in his opening hand, so you keep that. And do you keep Iron Big Owl? No, you don't, because you have Dark Bomb. So you can use that for the Acolyte of Pain. He mulliganed 4 cards away. I'm wondering what he was
maybe
looking
not.
for.
Maybe not. Oh yeah, he did.
He mulliganed everything. That's interesting.
Twilight Drakes, perhaps. If he's running out.
Bane of Doom. Wow, I love it.
So he's just always tapping for card draw.
Well, he always gets bad hand. So.
Maybe he just doesn't run Drakes and mountains. You could always do that. That's probably a good reason.
What is he mulliganing for? He had a kinda okayish hand.
Yeah. Which is why I'm thinking he's just not running Twilight Drakes and mountains. Which is why he just taps for value cards. It's kind of a similar start to last time. Ancient Watcher turn 3 and then...
But he lacks the Iron Big Owl this time. Which would be great for trading for the Atmosmith.
He might find it yet. He's also got Blood Mage Thanos Dark Bomb, worst case scenario. That's also not too bad. It's a 4 damage hit. It's fine.
I think so.
Well, he might not need it after all. Forcing a Hellfire early, it feels. Is that what he's attempting to do?
Now you use Dark Bomb and drop the Sun Fury, right?
Yeah, and then you Bane of Doom that 2/2 if it doesn't get used.
No, actually you don't drop the... You life tap and play Dark Bomb.
I think so. That way you get a Bane of Doom next turn.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe you just drop the second Ancient Watcher.
Right, that also works. That actually works super well. Because you're playing... Like, the opponent plays a Belcher, right? On turn 5 typically, so... He's not going to really worry too much about your Ancients. He taps. Alright.
Well, he doesn't have any heal yet in his hand, but double Belchers and Sun Fury Ancient Watcher is kind of okay.
He has to trade here if he doesn't want to get Bane of Doom. Oh my god, there's no Bane of Doom.
Bane of Doom coming. Yes, and Mal'Ganis!
I am eternal!
Oh!
That's also still pretty good. Yeah. I am eternal!
That's insane. It's like a fire elemental for 5 mana.
He's just going full face here. Oh my goodness, Xixo. SM Orc. SM Orc, ladies and gents.
Sylvanas, you don't have a silence for that. That sucks.
Yeah, you just play your own, I guess. It's gonna be... Well, then again, what you could do... Yeah, you don't play your own, because his Sylvanas could just trade and get ultimate value. I think a Hellfire is in order.
Why ultimate value? Your Sylvanas triggers last. I mean, Gaara's Sylvanas trigger last. So...
Yeah, but he could just kill his own Sylvanas on your Pit Lord, and then you lose.
Oh, you mean by his own Sylvanas? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a bit. So this Sludge Belcher is kind of a gap stopper, where it's gonna stop Sylvanas for a turn. What's good about it is that it allows for a really solid Hellfire.
Yeah. Then he gets an Ancient Watcher, which is basically useless for a warrior. Well, not useless. He can win a brawl with that.
Yeah, it's almost useless. Dr. Balance is coming out, as expected.
Nothing new.
Yeah, there is 7 mana, right?
Yeah.
That works.
So now you have to kill Dr. Boom with the bombs, with everything, so...
Well, how do you...
That's not easy.
That's a bit tricky,
you have Thalnos. But that's still enough. Well,
yeah, you Thalnos Coil for 2 attack and then Hellfire. Definitely, that's the play.
You have the option to do everything. And then he gets the Ancient Watcher, would be for 1 or even dead.
Yeah, with the bombs.
Yeah. So you have to do it. Thalnos, Mortal Coil, draw a card, into the Pit Lord, into Dr. Boom, Hellfire, and you're at 11 HP.
I love the Pit Lord. Yeah, depending on what happens with those boom bots, there could be lethal. I mean, what if they both hit for 4 and then you get attacked with the War Axe?
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Skill Stone, Heroes of Skill. I don't know, it's just like... If that happens, I think. I still have the... You know what? Dr. Boom is still the card with which I have the most gripes.
The most what?
Gripes, like problems. I still don't like it. It's been a while and the metagame shook out and everything, but I still don't enjoy the card very much.
Iron kinda too late.
Yeah, a little bit, to say the least.
Well, you committed.
You could play Iron Beacon. You could play Iron Beacon Sun Fury if you wanted, but...
Oh, he goes for the Implosion, so he's dead next turn, right?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 14 health. Yes, he's dead too. No, he's almost dead. 1 mana off with Cruel Taskmaster Baron Geddon.
What about sacrificing the bombs?
Yeah, actually, that's gonna be lethal. GG. Well played.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Gaara.
That's it.
Unless they both hit the Ancient Watcher.
Well, he gets the... Wait. Trigger Sylvanas first, so you get the Ancient Watcher.
Oh, right.
And then the bombs. So you have guaranteed lethal. GG.
Yeah. Rest in pepperoni, Gaara. 4!
Wow, we didn't see the second outcome.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well played by Xixo.
Yeah, equalizing the series, he 2-2. He's gonna be able to move on to his last deck, the Mech Mage versus Handlock, which is not typically the worst matchup because you can get the win with a lot of face damage, and we haven't seen that much healing from Gaara. I didn't see any Earthering Farseers.
I did see 1 heal bot.
Yeah, 1 heal bot, and I think that's fine, but the array of cards that I usually fully expect from Handlock, I mean, typical Handlock, obviously. We're not talking about some of the tweaks that have been made on it. There's very little healing compared to what I see usually.
That's true, but the question is, if he gets again double Ancient Watcher in the opening hand with one Sun Fury Protector,
Sun Fury.
That's basically almost game.
Yeah, which basically would mean that every single match where he's gotten a crappy hand would, if he gets the same hand now, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, the Molten Giants are still crappy, but
they can be good, but generally speaking, they're not amazing. Xixo is also running Black Knight in his Mech Mage, so...
Oh yeah, right, I forgot about that.
That's a big deal in a matchup like Handlock, where you want to be able to get, go through an 8-8 with Taunt, or... But Gaara has the information, he has seen it used on a Sludge Belcher last game.
True.
So he has to remember that, because that's a really big deal.
That's a huge deal. Well, but still, it's an legendary, so it's only one off in a deck. And I think when you face a deck like Mech Mage, which lacks card draw at all, you can't play around legendaries.
Yeah.
You just have to play everything like he doesn't have it in his hand.
You do your best, and I mean, at best, I guess if you don't need to taunt up the giant, you don't do it needlessly, right? But when you do need the life that the taunt is going to grant you, you don't play around.
You have to go for it. That's true.
Was that a True Silver? By the way, like I keep thinking about the last game. Chad is saying that it wasn't True Silver Champion. It wasn't Death's Bite. It was True Silver Champion, because the Lightning Bolt is on True Silver, and Death's Bite has a skull.
Oh yeah, right.
So you were right. It was the second True Silver. Yeah, I'm dumb.
So smart.
I'm just dumb.
Okay, there's a Dark Bomb, Hellfire, and Anti-Heal Bot. That's quite good. Will you keep the Anti-Heal Bot? I think you keep it, right?
Yeah, because you can tap into options. It's also a pretty good body to play on curve. And Water Elemental here for Xixo, who's playing the Blinktron version of Mech Mage.
That's quite good.
Yep. So, well, that's a good hand here to deal with Mech Mage, if I want to be honest with you. Implosion, double Hellfire.
He always gets the Dr. Boom, though.
Yeah. He really wants to get played on turn 7.
And Mal'Ganis. Does he even play Void Colors? I don't think so.
Dark Bomb Watcher. That's going to be great. I haven't seen a Void Color yet, no. That's a great way. That's a great thing to give your opponent here. The Ancient Watcher with the Mirror Entity, that's as good as it's going to get for you.
True. Oh, he has a Farseer. Interesting.
Wow, that means he really just whiffed on the previous games.
I think he dropped the Farseer, right? I don't think Xixo will fall for that and attack the Farseer with the Elemental, though.
Well, there's no mech, so he's playing for the 1/1s. I think that's a bit weak, but he's setting up a Hellfire. Actually, it's setting up a really nice Hellfire, mind you.
If Xixo goes for... No, he didn't. Okay, so he played around the Hellfire, which is really good. Second Implosion.
Do it again?
Do it? I think you do it. Because you have guaranteed lethal on both minions. Even with a 2.
Wow, this is actually really funny.
So next turn, you play Ancient Watcher and...
Defender.
Or Dark Bomb.
Yeah, pick your choice.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be It's gonna have to be Defender. It's not even that he wants to. It's gonna be forced.
And there's one Fireball in Xixo's hand, which is crucial. It's like a kill command for the Hunter.
Ancient Watcher is gonna be watching this game for a while. Well, he's not playing the
Defender.
I kind of like the Defender better. Am I wrong?
I think so too. It's 8 points of damage to the face, so he will get 13. Xixo still lacks a mech, so he will probably drop one of the mechs and go with the Goblin Blast Mage this turn, because it's insane.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by Gaara's decision not to play Defender, but I guess at the same time, he wants to make sure that...
Oh, okay. Gaara traded. That's
Xixo traded, yeah.
I'm sorry, Xixo traded. That's really interesting. I didn't see a point in that.
Well, okay, wait. Let's try to evaluate the bigger game here.
What about Hellfire, Dark Bomb? No. No, wait. You have Hellfire for 4 points of damage, so you can kill everything apart from low tap. That doesn't make any sense anyway.
Okay, so what? That's really getting weird. Now he plays Defender? I thought it made more sense last turn, but ultimately I think it'll work out either way.
Well, now it will be second Blast Mage into pink, most likely, because you didn't see any AoEs.
Yeah.
And it would be a Shadow Flame.
Wow, perfect whiff.
Woo!
He's gonna have to trade his Archon and one of the 5 attack minions.
Wow, that's really unlucky.
Yeah, never lucky, Baby Rage.
He didn't
That
even
is
flinch.
pretty unfortunate.
Like, he's so still, he's not even blinking.
Yeah, like Gaara as well. He's been really good at Poker Face so far.
Yeah.
That's
Still-
like just gonna be game. I mean, you double Hellfire and you pray, but that's about. I mean, you trade into Loatheb, then you Blood Mage Hellfire and you pray.
That doesn't work.
Well, if you draw Farseer, no, you wouldn't even have enough. Voodoo Doctor. Yeah, Voodoo Doctor. Voodoo Doctor. Nobody plays that besides like Male Rogue, and even then they kind of all cut it out now. Unfortunately. You'll still be dead with Voodoo Doctor either way, but. Well, this is gonna be Fire Scale to the face and another reverse sweep here, right?
Interesting. Warlock seems to be point of Gaara's lineup.
Yeah. I didn't think it was, up until the point where
Well,
everything started going wrong for him.
he had really two bad draws with the Warlock. Like, really bad draws.
Yeah, the first 2 games were really horrible. The third one was okay, but not optimal. But those Water Elementals were really strong. I mean, those guys are really tough to remove.
I think he made a questionable call with the Defensive Argus. Like
With
he-
using Farseer instead of Argus?
Yeah. What do you think?
I would agree with you. That's initially what I
Because then
said, but
it makes your Hellfire better afterwards,
yeah.
right? It should be better.
It should do. Especially with the Blood Mage right away, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a little
Well,
surprised you went for that line of play, but
Yeah. Well, you know, it can happen.
yeah.
It was a tough matchup with that draw anyway, because Xixo already had one fireball, which, as I said, is basically the kill command of Face Hunter, which is used to just finish off your opponent, and that's how it went.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it usually goes. So Gaara's going to be 3-3 after this match versus Xixo, and Xixo is going to be able to go and get his second win in the KPL. So he's 2-4 right now. Gaara is still ahead of him.
Not 2-3. Wait.
No,
Sure
he's 1-4 right now, so he's going to be going 2-4
okay.
in KPL.
Well, that's
6 matches played total. Gaara is 3-3, which again doesn't disqualify him from getting in the top 5. Xixo still got quite a bit climb ahead of him, but if he gets a perfect score and the other players whiff quite a lot, then that's going to be it's still slightly possible, but it's going to be very difficult for him.
true. Well, we'll be going to a quick break, and then will be next match: Colento versus Dog.
Yeah, Colento is currently 2-3. Dog is 4-1, one of the top contenders. I was going to say one of the top dogs, but I'm going to say top contenders for this event. So we'll be right back after a 15 minutes break. Kinguin Pro League is going to keep going.